Okay, so episode 7, no questions asked. This was comfortable time wasting. This was more of what we were getting at the beginning of the show as opposed to you know, bad or insulting time wasting, which I really did not care for the last few episodes. But this one wasn't so bad. It was sweet, it was funny. The worst thing about it was there was really only one joke that was played throughout the episode and nothing else. My mom brought up an interesting point. I was watching with her and she said, if this was any season other than the last one, this sort of episode would not bother her as much. Because it's not too different from what we've been getting throughout the show, which is, you know, funny stories about the everyday lives of these 5 characters. There's not really an overarching plot that needs to be pushed forward in every episode. You know, this one has a bit more of a plot than other sitcoms, which is the finding of the mother. And that's what sets it apart. You know, I'm thinking of shows like Friends or Frasier or MASH. You know, the final episodes of those shows didn't have this sort of this goal that we were working towards in the final season, the way this one is. So I think we're all, you know, checking our watches. We're all very aware of the fact that there still seems to be a lot of ground left to cover, and instead we're doing side quests. I read an interesting article, I'll post a link to it if I can find it again, that said we need to let go of our expectations for this final season. Because we can't control what we're getting, so we really just need to enjoy what we're getting and stop comparing it to what we think the last season should have been. So I am going to try to stop doing that, and hopefully I'll be able to enjoy it a little bit more for what it is, as opposed to what I think it should be. I'm not the creators. You know, that's not my place. So it surprised me actually what the story ended up being. It was more of more flashbacks into the lives of these characters, as opposed to what I thought it was going to be, which the teaser from last week made it seem like the focus was really going to be on the ghost story, and there really wasn't anything of the ghost, which concerns me, and I'll get to why in a minute. But, you know, I was chuckling throughout the episode. It made me smile. It had a very sweet ending. The best part about this episode was that they actually addressed the emotional distance between Barney and Robin. And they kind of addressed the idea that they don't even know why they're getting married at this point. They're very comfortable on their own. They don't feel the need to spend time with each other. And I'm glad that instead of brushing it under the rug, they did resolve that. And they did make it seem like, you know, even though they're both very much alpha dog and lone wolf personalities, they do want to work together and they do want to get married. There was that emotional connection there. It was mostly played for laughs, but it was there, you know, and I'll take it. It was very sweet and it was very specific to their characters, so that was very nice. My sister brought up an interesting point too. She said, you know, so much of this final season feels like padding, it feels unnecessary. Some of it is boring, some of it is uncomfortable, some of it is fun and sweet, but she said maybe it would have been better if they had, instead of a full season, wrapped it up in like a 2-hour movie special. MASH did that with their special Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen. Oh, hang on just 1 second. Sorry, that was my phone. Had to answer it real quick. I was saying about the 2-hour movie special. You know, that seemed like a really good idea, a really good way to wrap everything up, get everything out that needed to be said, without dragging it out with all this padding. Maybe we'll look back and we'll be glad for all these episodes, because of all the sweetness that is explored. Right now it just feels like there's no way I would ever want to watch most of these episodes a second time. So maybe a movie would have been better. However, there's enough good in most of these episodes. Most of them have been alright. Most of them have been very sweet. What I was saying earlier about the teaser and the reason I'm concerned. Last week we got a tease that there was going to be this ghost story about Lily's hotel room being haunted. That was the only thing they played up in the teaser. It really seemed to be the focus of what they wanted you to know about next week's episode, and it really wasn't anything in this week's. It was a little part. But what concerns me about that is we got in the teaser for next week's episode, we find out that the mother is coming back. But it doesn't say how, in what capacity. It doesn't say where we're going to see her. She might just be mentioned in passing. Or there was more stuff with her in the background and nothing to do with her relationship with Ted. Which, that's what I would like to see. But we haven't gotten any of that for most of the season. Who knows? Hopefully, I would love it. I would love it if they started going forward with how Ted really met the mother and what their relationship ended being like. I would love that. But I'm going to try not to say, oh, that's how it should be, and if it's different, if it ends up being different, that's wrong. I'm going to try not to say that. The other thing we got in the tease is, I guess, the conflict between Barney's mother and Robin is coming back. That's fine. It kind of seems like, again, instead of diving into the emotional aspect of it, they're playing it for laughs and they're having an egg-making contest between Robin and Barney's mom. That's almost cartoonish in the way they're trying to resolve things. So, I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. Hopefully the egg-making thing will be downplayed and it'll be more about the emotional connection and more about Ted and the mother. Hopefully. That's what I'm hoping to see. Let me know what you're hoping to see. And I will see you guys next time. Take care.